Man, this some bullshit, bruh. No hola intro, no nothing today. We're fucking suffering. What's good, everybody? I just got back from watching this fuck-ass fight night. Carlos Prates versus JDM. I had all my friends over. Had some friends from the gym. Had my French-Hungarian homie over. Had my fucking French and Russian homie over. Had my other Russian homie over. Had my fucking Spanish homie. Like, I had everyone at the crib today for this bullshit-ass card, bullshit-ass fight. Oh, man, the main event was great. The main event was great. Had me on my feet, had me on my toes. The rest of the card was a little lackluster. Fuck, JDM, bro. I didn't want to see JDM get knocked out. I would 100% take, like, bro, anything but a finish against JDM. Like, just seeing him there, getting him, like, just the leg kicks were tearing him up. The fucking shots, the knees up the middle were so brutal when Prates would land those elbows going down. But yeah, just the leg kicks, man. The leg kick, the body kick. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. Not really. I've seen worse. You know, I've seen Volk get knocked out. I've seen Charles Oliveira get knocked out. But man, this just felt tragic. Because I expected... No, I don't even know what I expected. I wanted JDM to win. I had JDM winning this fight, obviously. Prates winning, good for the division. But man, oh man. Let's get into it. Let's matchmake the welterweight division with this result in mind. Let's see what we would do with each guy, starting with the main event. Prates TKOing JDM. I don't know how many of you guys expected this to happen. I don't know, how many of you guys picked Prates by KO. If Prates was going to win, it was going to be by finish. It was going to be by knockout. Like, that was 100% sure. I remember when this fight started, this quote from MMA Guru. MMA Guru was always talking about Carlos Prates. If you have to live bet on any fighter in the UFC, live bet on Carlos Prates. Because once you see him going, you see him like start to get going, start to roll. That's what the commentators were talking about. Like, when he starts getting on his roll, it's really not much anyone can do to stop him, man. And I remember this fight starts, and I know my pick. I picked JDM. I'm aware of my pick. And I'm thinking, wow. Prates looks fucking huge. Prates looks enormous against JDM. Not only is he like 2 or 3 inches taller than JDM, he stands in a Muay Thai stance, very upright, very tall, and JDM is a slouched boxer, wide stance, takes away some inches, short, like, shoulders rolled, shoulders tucked, chin tucked. Like, this fight, with all of his elements combined, the fact that Prates' reach is so fucking crazy, like, all of that combined, it made it for Prates having, like, a 4-inch reach advantage, and that's just insane. You cannot give up a 4-inch reach advantage against Prates, man. Insane. But let's get on to the fight. What do we do with each of these fighters? What do we do with the important ranked fighters at welterweight, given the results of this card? Now, I think first things off, we got to start off talking about the title fight. This is probably going to be the next title fight. Islam versus Garry. I don't know what you guys think about this fight. Me personally, I'm not really that big of a fan of it. I'm not really that big a fan. But I think it's inevitable. It would happen eventually, whether it be now or after Ian Garry's next win. I don't think it matters who they put against Ian Garry. He's probably going to win those fights. I'd pick him to win against Usman. I'd pick him to win against, I don't know, like Sean Brady. For whatever reason, I'd pick him to win against Buck. I'd pick him to win against Morales, likely. I don't think it really matters who you put him up against. This fight would happen eventually. So, it's happening now. Most likely, we've heard rumors. It's been almost confirmed at this point. So let's just get this fight going. Islam versus Garry. I do think Islam wins this fight. He just, in my opinion, a more well-rounded fighter than Ian Garry. Ian Garry's like path to victory is being well-rounded. And who's the most well-rounded fighter in the welterweight division? It's fucking Islam Makhachev. I think Islam will win this fight, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about matchmaking. Make Islam versus Garry, so then we can make this fight. Number 1 contender. South America's finest, bruh. Carlos Prates versus Michael Morales. This is an absolute banger. This is absolutely crazy. 2 guys with a death touch. 2 guys with insane power in the hands. Like, crazy power in the hands. And most importantly, crazy frames. Both of these guys, super straight up. We saw, of course we saw Michael Morales in his last fight very slouched because he was going up against Sean Brady, who was a grappler. He was like, I'm not going to let this guy get a hold of me. But make this fight for the #1 contender. We're going to see Prates go against Michael Morales. It's going to be a striker's delight. And whoever wins Islam versus Ian Garry, which we know who's going to win that fight. But whoever wins that fight has to fight the #1 contender. If you want to make this for an interim belt, I don't give a fuck. Make this for like whoever wins this fight fights for the title next. I'd love with all my heart, if you guys know the channel, I would love for Shavkat Rakhmonov to come back. Because that's my #1 contender. That's my fucking GOAT, bro. Shavkat Rakhmonov. Imagine he came back right now. That would be absolute cinema. We could get Shavkat versus Prates. We get Shavkat versus Morales. Like, adding the Shavkat name back into here would be just beautiful. But you guys have seen the video circulating. Shavkat doesn't look good in the slightest. He's probably not going to be back for a long time now. So give me Prates versus Morales for the #1 contender. Next fight. JDM versus the winner of Buck and Brady. Really, like, the only way JDM loses in this division is if he gets smudged or if he gets knocked out. This has to be up there. Like, this last 2-fight loss streak that he's on has to be up there with the most understandable losses of all time, bro. Genuinely the most acceptable losses of all time. Because you're like, oh, but Carlos Prates, you know, if he knocked everybody out, but he lost against Ian Garry, bro, I don't give a fuck. He almost knocked out Ian Garry in that last round after getting dominated for 5. This guy genuinely has the touch of death in his hands. Carlos Prates, if he has 5 rounds to figure you out on the feet, it's over. It really is over. I don't know why. I think I just picked JDM with my whole heart, man. I picked JDM with my heart. I didn't listen to my mind. Because I like JDM a lot. I like JDM's boxing. I like JDM's just the way he mixes it up. The body, head. I like his storyline, having lost those 2 fights at the beginning of his career and then making it all back. He's good, man. I've never thought he would win the belt, even when he was coming up. Like, I've never been a JDM glazer. Against Belal, I thought Belal was going to win. Against Islam, I knew Islam was going to win. But, hey, man. But, JDM, I still like him. And I think he should fight the winner of Buck versus Brady. I think Buck and Brady are fighting, if not... Yeah, they're fighting in 2 weeks' time, I believe. They're main eventing that card. And this is a great placement because they're going to be recovering around the same time. JDM's going to need some time off. Who knows how violent Buck and Brady is going to get. I'm not really sure who's going to win that fight. I haven't really thought about it yet. But if I had to go right off the dome, I'd love to think that Buckley has adapted from his Usman fight. I remember when I was matchmaking this division, I said, yo, you know, Buckley just fought Usman. Usman ragdolled him. I'd love to see Buck versus Brady, because this is a fight where both guys have something to prove. This is a fight where both of these fighters can show, like, yo, I've improved. I've gotten better. You know, Sean Brady got knocked out by Michael Morales in his last fight. Buckley got absolutely smudged by Usman. It can be like, yo, who's going to be able to... Who has adapted the most? Basically, it's going to be a fight of who's adapted better. There's going to be crazy scrambles. This is actually probably one of the most... Now that I'm thinking about it, this is probably one of the most underrated fights that we're going to have this year. I'm going to make a long-ass video talking about that fight. But yeah, man, give me JDM versus the winner of Buck versus Brady. And let's get JDM back in there, all right? Let's do it quickly. Let's get him another win because this 2-fight loss streak doesn't look good on him. And I know these are understandable losses. Let's get him back in the win column. Now, for Usman, speak of the devil. You know, we were talking about Usman against Joaquin Buckley. I think Usman should fight the winner of Belal versus Bonfim. Now, what is this gonna happen? I don't know. Like, this fight of Usman versus Belal has been cooking, in my opinion, and a lot of fans' opinion, since the podcast they had. They had a podcast, was unreleased. Who knows what happened in the podcast? One guy says he made the other guy cry. Other guy said the other guy cried. I don't know. Like, we'd have to see. We gotta release the podcast files, like, on some Epstein files shit. But man, this fight, I'm just assuming that Belal beats Bonfim because I don't rate Bonfim that highly. So Usman versus Belal would be low-key cinema. I'd love to see this fight. I don't know if it's gonna happen because we've seen Ali Abdelaziz. He's been pushing a lot for that Usman versus Islam fight just because he'd make a shit ton of money, you know. But I don't want to see that shit, bro. I don't care about Islam versus Usman. I don't give a single fuck. I know how that fight would go. Usman's knees are gone. I want to see this Usman versus Belal matchup because this would be real unk matchup, and I think it would turn out like a Usman versus Colby, like the first fight. This would be a scrap on the feet, because no way these guys are wrestling. I think they'd cancel each other out in the wrestling, similar to like I said, Colby Covington. So let's see this fight. Usman versus the winner of Belal and Bonfim. Please, UFC, make this fight. Don't listen to fucking Ali Abdullah Sleaze or whatever his name is, alright? Thank you guys for watching, man. I'm sorry I didn't give you my little Ola intro. I'm gonna put it here. Ola! Alright. But man, what a tragic weekend, right? I'm recording this right after the fights, which I never get to do because it's usually like 6 in the morning when the fights end. Let me know what you guys think about this fight. Are you heartbroken? Are you happy for Prates? I think it's good for the division that Prates wins because, you know, Prates hasn't been a former champion. If we get former champions winning, we saw what happens at lightweight. We saw what happens, you know, at bantamweight. It becomes like an infinite title shot loop where these former champions come back, fight the guys that just tucked the belt up them. Like, you see guys fighting each other 2-3 times. Like, it's not that good for the division. But, you know, Prates winning the belt, I mean, Prates fighting for the belt would be something new. Let's get him against Michael Morales, and let's get JDM a win, alright? Again, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna go eat dinner with my homies, alright? Ciao.